Hi boys and girls, we are about to do our third and final lesson for the water cycle. So we have talked about how all the water in the world is all the water in the world, what we use it for, why we need it, where it comes from. We looked at what the water cycle does and how it moves the water, and we got to experiment with runoff. Well, today we are going to make our own water cycle in a bag. So you are going to need a few materials if you want to create this project. All you need is a plastic baggie, a Sharpie, and some water. I put some food coloring in my water, so I just put 1 drop of blue food coloring in there so that it would be easier to see, but if you don't have that, that's okay. So if you remember, our water cycle is something that happens over and over and over again. So it can start from any place in the cycle. So say we start with condensation. We've got clouds, they're water molecules formed together up in the sky. They move around, and then when they're ready, we have the next step, which is precipitation, where rain or sleet or snow falls. And that can fall on land or into water, but that water will go where it needs to go. So it might feed plants and be water for animals to drink. It might end up coming to us so that we can have it in our homes, or it might run off into lakes, rivers, oceans, and then it's that last step, evaporation. So the sun warms up the water, and then it goes up and goes back into condensation and becomes a cloud. So we have the water cycle, and that's really big, and we get to kind of see it when we see it rain, when we see clouds in the sky, but this is going to help us be able to see it in our houses. So if you can look at this bag, what I've done is I have drawn the water cycle just like I have it on my anchor chart, a little more simple. I've drawn space at the bottom, that's going to be my water, and then I've shown evaporation up into condensation, and then precipitation with rain, and I put a little bit of land there to show what runoff looks like. So you can draw that on your bag, and then you'll open up your bag and pour your water in. If you need someone to help you, make sure you ask for help. And then, this is the really cool part. You are going to close up your bag to get out any extra air. And you are going to use some tape, and you're going to tape this bag up to a window that gets a lot of sun. Now you might remember that the sun has an important part in the water cycle. Yeah, it works for evaporation. So the sun heats up that water, and then the water evaporates and goes into condensation. So when you put this bag up on your window, you've got water down here, and then that sun is going to heat it up. But it can't go up and join into a cloud because it's in a closed bag. So it will form condensation, and then you might even see some precipitation. So you are going to just draw the water cycle, fill it with water, and then tape it up to a window. And if you do that, I want you to send a picture of it all taped up there to your teacher so that I can see it. And then you can draw your observations. You can go check on it several times a day and see what the water cycle looks like in your own house. Next week, we are going to talk about how that water comes to our house and what it looks like to make sure that it's clean enough for us to drink, and all of the important things that we should be doing to save and conserve water. Bye, see you next time.